Hi everyone. So I've been expanding my practice to the public. I feel this is the time for me to, in my growth, in my journey, that this is what I'm ready for, and these are the next steps for my growth. I've been doing this for about a decade. I graduated in December of 2013. And I'd like to share a little bit of my journey, where I am now, and what I've learned, and how my style of therapeutic body work has emerged from what I have learned. Essentially, I first started at a hand and stone, and it was only for a couple of months because I had moved out to California shortly after, and I worked at a pure organic spa, a higher end spa in Union Square in San Francisco, living out of Berkeley. And I had a lot of diverse clientele that came from all different types, all different countries. It was nice to have that type of variety. And even the co-workers, they all specialized in very unique, different styles of massage. Everybody was in a very different space of practice, which was nice to collaborate with. And upon coming back in 2016, I reached out to my old professors, and they sent me a place that was hiring, and it was the same hand and stone that I had left, and it was nice to reconnect with them, and even the co-workers, which some of them I went to school with. So there was a certain sense of a nice reunion there. And I started getting repeating clientele, and that was a really good practice for me that I didn't get to have in San Francisco. And upon continuing education, which every 2 years we have to continue learning a certain amount of hours, and I decided to take up Reiki, which was the New Jersey School of Reiki, which I found to be one of the more thorough teachings, because you had to have so many clients and hours before you can go on to your second degree or advance and your master's. And it took me from 2017 to 2021 to complete all of that. I had an amazing first session in my first degree, and my clientele afterwards that used to talk or the host time, or just they would be sleeping, and just in general my clientele seemed more relaxed and seemed to take more in from the whole session, which was nice to see. And I continued there for a couple of years. Before leaving there, I went to a chiropractor and a Lifetime gym, and the chiropractor was like continuing education every day. He's been in Morristown over 30 years. He had a whole system of Stimpack work, massage therapist, and working, the adjustment. And he would be able to, there was an area of the body that needed adjustment. I would work on the surrounding muscles, and he would then do the adjustment. But he was able to see what I did. He was able to assess the muscle condition and help construct. It was a very constructive experience, and I was able to take what I was learning there and apply that to the Lifetime gym, which my clientele was more athletic. And I started to learn between when I was learning with Reiki, and which I finished my second degree in 2019, and my work with the chiropractor, that technique was not enough. In fact, what I started to learn was that the client was doing all the healing. I could apply a lot of pressure. I could go with my elbow, do all different stretchings and techniques. But if the client wasn't relaxed, if the client wasn't in a state of healing and receiving and letting go, the body wouldn't change. It wouldn't. If there was a tension, the area would swell or become inflamed, and it wouldn't be able to work on anymore. Or there was so many other factors that I started to see that it's the client that is doing the healing. I am just a bridge. I'm just holding space and intention to help the client accelerate their own healing. And my practice began I got a better awareness that what I'm really practicing is how well I can accelerate my client's ability to heal. And so after 2020, pandemic, put me on a different course, and I ended up working with a massage therapist who had built up her own business, and I was able to practice this more effectively. I had a little bit more freedom in how I went about doing my clientele. I was able to practice massage and Reiki within one session. And I was able to understand and learn more about how my own thoughts and presence was part to become more aware of what I was bringing internally that could be interfering with the client's ability to heal and connect. And so I had to, it really gave me a good chance to learn and understand that time doesn't heal anything. It's an active engagement. And my job that I took upon in that sense was how well I can hold that space for the client to connect better to their body. And I continued that until she sold the business and moved out of state, and I moved on as well. And currently I'm at Crystal Springs Resort in New Jersey. And I was able to learn a lot more from them as well. And being that it's a resort and their way about what they do, and everybody there has been there for almost twice as long as I've been a therapist. They're all, even though I've been doing this for about a decade, their experience is just as great for me to feel young in that way. And I continue to practice that what I do, that seems to be a good space for me, that my clients has given me good feedback, is that I aim to hold good intentions and space, and to listen, not just to what the client is telling me that's bothersome, but to what the body is telling me as well. And I find that it's most effective to go through the body and say, okay, we have some tension here. How much of this are we ready to release? And I say this in my mind, sometimes maybe to the client. And I'll hold for about 15 seconds. I'll I'll check the other muscles, and wherever I find pain or tension, I just want to connect the client's awareness to what they might be, to the tension in the body. And I noticed that the moment the awareness connects to the body, it instantly starts to heal. And I found that has been more effective to go throughout the whole body and working with the tension that I can find throughout the body than working on particular spots, trying to fix something that maybe has taken months or even years, and trying to fix that in 60 minutes. And so there's still many things I'm learning, and whether it's Eastern modalities or Western modalities, the mind, body, emotional connection. I see the better we can connect to all that equally, and hold a state and a space for all of that in a healthy and establish a good relationship to all that. The healthier our state overall becomes, the less tension and stress that we hold, and my work aims to keep developing in that way. It's a little bit about me, a little bit of my journey, and my practice, and I share this so if you understand where I'm coming from, and maybe my massage is for you, and if not, then maybe it's not. Gives you a little bit more insight about what I'm offering, and my aim is to be able to customize my services and what I have to offer to be of better service for you. And so, thank you. For allowing me to do my practice. And so, I'm going to leave it there.